25 years ago, I was playing music in Los Angeles and living in Los Angeles, first at open mics, like at a place called Cantor's on Fairfax, which I think still has an open mic, and which is kind of a piece of shit, but had kind of a vibrant community anyway. And then with a band making kind of alt-country music. There was a producer slash guitar player named Fox Scarlett who helped me do some recordings initially, and then I kind of coerced slash persuaded him into being a guitar player for the band, but I don't think he really wanted to be. Maybe he was just being nice to me. And then Greg DePonte, or DePont, I'm never sure how you say his name, he was the bass player, and then a guy named Ken Hale was the drummer. Our band was called The Reason We're Here, which was named after a Pretenders song, The Message of Love. And that name kind of captures what was, I guess, unmarketable about the band, which was that it was sort of a pop, jangly pop thing, but also trying to be in a kind of an alt-country vein. It's not that crazy, but it just, I wasn't really sure where it fit in the marketplace of music. So the people we were playing with around that time, we played at this place called the Flower Space, which was a warehouse in downtown LA. And the other folks in there there was this band called the Paper Planes who were pretty cool. They did a lot of kind of droney, kind of CCR style Chuglin stuff, but it was with an indie rock flavor. Our stuff was more kind of conventionally pop. I was real influenced by like Steve Earle and Lucinda Williams and Wilco. I really wanted to write pop songs that had some lyrical, I guess, heft or something to them, but I really love the arrangements of Wilco and Steve Earle and things like that. I just love the sounds of all that music and all those instruments. And Lucinda Williams was in town at that time, and Greg, our bass player, was sort of, I guess, acquainted with her, and I always sort of figured maybe somehow our music would get to her. I don't think that ever happened. But I did get to see her play at a bar in the Valley one time, and she played Change the Tracks Underneath the Train. She was real drunk, and it was fucking great. Just so like out of control, but emotionally just perfect for that song. And besides the Paper Planes, I don't remember a whole lot of the other folks in that scene. I don't think I was really in the scene too much. There was a band called the Autumns that was like a kind of a shoegaze slash emo band that Ted was also, I think, producing or had a hand in some way. And I remember they were on Capitol, but I don't think they ever kind of went anywhere. And then Elliott Smith was in town, of course, and then died in 2003. But I wasn't tight really with any people in the scene. I know Icy Hawks in LA was playing around those times, and you'd see people at like Spaceland or the Cinema Bar or the Silver Lake Lounge. These were all the sort of venues that were happening. But our band kind of was nothing special. I think we had a couple good tracks, but it was hard for me. And I guess this is the point of this video, is like I came to realize about myself that like that whole world, the music world of being out in bars, staying out late and schmoozing, it's not really my thing. Like I can do it just barely, but it takes a lot out of me, and especially if I stay up late and drink. I'm a person who will go into depression, and it's hard on me. And also I feel uncomfortable about trying to put myself across as some great artist or whatever. So the whole self-promotion thing that you got to do in that world is just not my bag. So we did some recordings and stuff, but it never got released. And I eventually started doing more solo recording at home on 4-track and on Cool Edit Pro, and then on Fruity Loops, and finally on Ableton. And that's still what I'm doing now. And the point of what I'm making is just that I I know that in this YouTube community, community, I kind of hate that word because it's like, is it even a community? I don't know. But to some extent, there is this sense of like, there's a group of people out there in the world who are just small, marginal figures making music and putting it out on the internet for the fuck of it, really, not with any financial ambition or anything like that. And all of us have day jobs or whatever that we've got to do to just make a living. But we're making music anyway, just because we like it. And to me, that's kind of exciting. I mean, that's all I ever wanted to be in the first place, was just like part of a world of making music and connected with people who make music. And the pressure to somehow level it up to whatever, like a record deal or, go on tour or whatever, it's kind of artificial. Like the challenge really to me is like, make a good song, make a good performance, document that. You can't control if people are going to like it or not. You might think it's the coolest thing in the world and people won't even pay any attention to it. Or for that matter, you might be wrong. Your shit might suck, but you believe in it. For someone like Lucinda Williams, as an artist, one thing I've always admired about her is that she just kind of goes with it, and sometimes it's really fucking great. And other times it's kind of like, I don't feel that song particularly, or I don't get where you're going with your lyrics. But she just keeps trying and keeps being vulnerable and keeps putting it out. And I think that's cool. So anyway, I appreciate the fact that in this YouTube community, like, there's perfect freedom to do that. And if you get 5 views, well, shit, that's 5 people who actually watch the thing. I think that's just as good as spending 3 hours of your night at an open mic to do one song and have people kind of like shrug and be like, oh, I don't know what that even was. So as much as it feels like we're kind of atomized and divided, I think there's something to this, which is pretty cool. And I also like the fact that it's not, it's not the marketplace of Spotify and streaming. All those fucking streaming services can go die, right? They don't provide any support to anybody who's an artist, except if you're Taylor Swift or something. But for everybody else, it's just completely meaningless. They're just skimming money off all those people. So fuck all those services. The real thing is in communicating with each other through some medium where we can just be real. And I think in some ways, however flawed YouTube is, it is good in that sense. You can just be real, do what you want to do, make what you want to make, and put it out into the world. And even back in the day, at the Silver Lake Lounge, that's all I ever wanted to do, was just put the shit out into the world and make a joyful sound. Anyway, peace, y'all. See you next time.